Today we have award-winning chef Mark Spellman, who's going to help take the stress out of the holidays by giving us tips to easy hospitality. Mark, welcome, and we're really glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you have your sous chef with you today, Adriana.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome. Now, Mark, you have quite a background in hospitality and the hospitality industry. You want to tell us a few of the highlights of what you've done?
Well, many years, I won't get into how many. I started doing this. I started when I was 13, just a kid, and I liked watching the TV shows back then. It wasn't like it is now.
Right.
With the,
Julia Child was about the only one, huh?
No, we had the Galloping Gourmet.
Oh, right, I remember that.
So then my dad bought a restaurant, and I started cooking when I was 13. And my mother's Sicilian, so there was a lot of family growing up with us, a lot of singing in the kitchen and having a good time and being hospitable. Hospitality in our family was not half cooking in the kitchen. We're all together. In the Italian realm, the table is in the kitchen. So, yeah.
So the whole concept of hospitality really is very natural to you from that standpoint. It comes from your family roots. And also in the Hispanic culture, I think the Hispanic culture is much more about hospitality than a lot of the European backgrounds, definitely.
Absolutely. Like the posadas where during Christmas where everybody goes from home to home getting gifts and food and chocolate and things like that. So, yes, that's unfortunately something we're, as a culture in America, we're missing a little bit up
Right.
here.
And we've really secularized the concept of hospitality. Now, today you're going to be demonstrating several different things. What's the first thing you're going to show?
Well, just, a lot of people are afraid of cooking certain things. And today it's duck. It's really easy. If you can cook a chicken, actually duck's a little easier than chicken.
Oh, really?
Duck has no white meat. It's not going to get dry. It's all dark meat, including
so it's
the breast.
the other dark meat.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, right. That doesn't look like this. That looks like a much bigger duck than my husband brings home when he goes hunting.
Yeah, this is a domesticated duck, and they're fed well. And these ducks only have one bad day in their life.
Okay. So you can get those at the store?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Even in town here, there's many places you can get duck. And this one, we're just going to roast it. Simple, simple, simple. Something for the holidays that isn't turkey or ham or roast beef. This is something that anybody can do. This duck would serve around 4 to 6 people. It comes with giblets just like chicken. And you just dry it off.
And now, is duck healthier for you than other types of meat, or it's similar to other poultries? Or
There's
what?
no, well, it's similar, but there's a lot of fat in duck. So they
Is that
can.
what makes it so tasty?
I would say, yeah. That they live in areas where it's cold, so they have to have a lot of fat. So there is a lot of fat on these breasts here. So what we do when we roast them, we try to render some of that off.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So what's the secret?
That's not. It's like I said, it's very easy. You just season it.
So you're putting some salt on
Some
there?
salt on there on the inside. Don't forget the inside cavity.
Why is salt on the inside good? Does it help?
Well,
It doesn't dry it out?
there's
or?
meat on the inside too. So
okay.
yeah, it actually cures it, goes through, and then we'll put a little pepper.
And so the seasoning's really pretty simple then.
Simple. Well, and I have some other seasonings that I use. I kind of create my own mixes.
Secret ingredients?
Yeah. This is my poultry seasoning. I use it on chicken, turkey, duck, different things.
And so using yours or something like yours, a poultry seasoning is good. So any poultry seasoning would work on a duck as well as a chicken?
Actually, yeah, this is more of a regular poultry season just has sage and thyme and little rosemary, pepper, things like that. Mine has a lot more spice to it. So on duck, you don't want it too mellow.
Because duck has a stronger flavor than...
Well,
the
yeah,
average
it definitely does. This here, this fat part is from the neck. We just cut that off with our perfect knife, and we're gonna actually put that in the cavity. It's gonna add some flavor because on the inside there's no fat. So,
Right.
and then we're gonna put some onion, a little orange, just inside.
Okay.
Okay.
So would these things work for any poultry?
Yep. You could do this with roast chicken as well.
Okay.
But the duck is going to cook a little bit different. So like I said, it's easier to cook. I don't use the liver in there, so we can just put our giblets on a little rack. You put some more onions, some oranges, and then we're just going to lay the duck on top.
Oh, okay.
All right. At this point, you can take a fork and you could just puncture the skin along here a little bit. It helps render the fat out. You can use a knife, just little tiny punctures along the breast, because there's about a 1/4 inch of fat on there. And what we're going to do is put that at a high heat at about 400 degrees for 30 minutes. Get a nice rendering going.
Okay. So in terms of hospitality from a biblical perspective, then, in the Jewish culture in ancient Israel, hospitality was more like a sacred duty than we see it today. Isn't that right?
Yes. Seder meals, very traditional. Prayer before, during, and after meals. A lot of tradition there. Yeah.
Now, you actually have some expertise in kosher cooking and that type of thing.
Yeah,
Is that right?
I've
At
studied,
Helen of Troy?
Well, I studied it in school, and I was hired at Helen of Troy, somewhat because of that background that I have, understanding it. And I have done many bar mitzvahs. I've done Jewish weddings, lots of Seder meals, lots of break the fast, Passover, Rosh Hashanah, Hanukkah meals as well. Yes.
So is it a different concept in terms of that type of cooking? What's the main difference?
Well, my CEO, or the boss of Helen Troy, Jerry Ruin, he always says the difference between kosher food and non-kosher is, he says, if it tastes good, it's not kosher.
Okay.
So, but we tried to change that mentality. We put a lot of effort into it. Once you bring the cooked
Because
one
kosher food tends to be a little bit bland, right?
Yeah. You know, I think prayer first, cooking technique second. All right,
Right, yeah.
Our duck is now cooked.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, you have your duck here. This is what it looks like. Okay, let me go over that again. 30 minutes at 400 degrees. Then you turn your oven down to about 300, and it takes about an hour, hour and a half.
So there's plenty. You can put it in ahead of time, and then you can prepare other things while you're
Absolutely.
cooking. Okay. What would you eat with the duck?
Just about anything you could. This is duck, like I said, very juicy. Knife. Very juicy compared to chicken. Hard to overcook and easy to serve. To get the duck ready, you just pretty much break the breast cavity open. And as you can see, there's our fat in there. We took everything else out. And you can pull the breast with the proper knife easily off the bone.
So why do you break the breast cavity open like that?
Yeah, it just lets it cool off a little bit for you.
So.
And there's your wishbone there. We just pull that off. You need a plate, please.
Yes, sir.
And there's a breast. Just set it down there. And as you can see, you cut that.
Looks delicious.
You know, a lot of people say it cooks a lot like pork. And very juicy, crispy on the skin. The legs are great, and it's not hard to cook. And I think more people, as you try it, you do it, you set it up as a meal or an appetizer. Bring it up first, and
it's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Now, did you prepare duck for you were recently in received a very prestigious award through the Culinary Institute. Is that right? For the central region of the United States, what was that? Did you use duck for that?
Well, it's a Chef of the Year, annual Chef of the Year competition in the American Culinary Federation. There's about 20,000 chefs in the industry, in that association. And you compete for each region. I won the central region, and we had to cook duck was the secret ingredient. So
You had to.
yeah, we had 1 hour to do the best we could with a duck, and I won that one. So
Wow. Well, so this is from the very best duck cooker in the United States, or in the central United States.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so what's the next thing that you want to tell us about? That's an easy thing for either appetizer or an
yes,
entree.
yes.
Okay.
Duck is. I recommend you try it. Make sure you thaw it out completely, and you can go to our website, elpasochefs.com. You can put a query in there, ask questions about it, and we'll respond to that.
Okay. Great.
Okay. We also like tamales here in the Southwest. It's very big during the holidays,
Right.
and Adriana over here, she's just going to demo this. We could both do it, but she's
So,
going to start.
Adriana, you're from a Hispanic background, Hispanic family. So
Yes.
were tamales a part of every Christmas season for you?
Yeah, actually for winter we love tamales, and we make buñuelos, we make calientitos, we make chocolate abuelita, that it's grandma's chocolate. And the calientitos is more like a fruit punch, and you boil all the fruits, and sometimes you put canela, or it depends what you, or
Cinnamon.
star anise, cinnamon. I'm sorry, cinnamon. And yes, we love to get together, all the family. Like he said, we make the posadas, and we have all the family coming to. The tradition is go to one house to another one, and you sing some songs and asking for some posada, like to get into their houses and get some food, and they go to the next house. That's the actually tradition.
That's
Yeah, but we
sounds
don't
like
do
a-
that. We just do go to our family, to my mom's house, and we stay all together eating tamales.
So tamales is usually kind of a communal activity in terms of preparing them. Is that right?
Yes, actually all the family gets together, and like one gets the masa, and then the wives helps them to spread the masa, and the other one puts the meat, and then the other one put it in the stove. So everybody gets something to do. And
Everybody gets involved.
Yes.
Okay. Well, show us how to do that.
okay, well, I have the masa already made. You can use the masa you can spread the masa with a spoon, but you can do it too with. I brought this equipment that it's more easy. You can spread the masa. You spread
So
all.
masa is it water and corn flour pretty much, or what?
Yes, and shortening, and you can add some flavors like the things that you make your meat, the juice. You can put it inside the masa, and then you mix it.
Oh, okay.
That's why it makes a lot of flavor in there.
Oh, okay.
And then I brought some rajas and some red chile. I'm gonna do the rajas right now. You put it in there. A little bit, not too much.
So that's a green chili.
Yes, this is a green chile, and then you put it in there. Just put it standing up.
So that's a steamer right there.
That's a steamer right here, and we already have our tamales ready.
Okay.
And let me show you how. I have some red and some green.
Tamales are one of my favorite things. I love tamales.
I love tamales too,
Yeah.
but sometimes we eat too much.
So different kinds of tamales are red chili, green chili,
Green chili.
chicken, pork.
Yes, we have pork, and sometimes the difference from the leaf. Sometimes you can use banana leaves, and they get so moist, and from the in the inside. I think the banana leaves gives more moist to the dough, to the masa, so they have a different flavor.
Okay, so is it better or worse or just
It's
different?
better.
Oh, you
It's
think
better.
In
But
her
the-
opinion, I don't.
okay.
I just.
That's usually the tradition is with a corn husk.
Okay.
But some more of the south of the people from Mexico, they use the banana leaves.
Well, I learned something new today. I had no idea that they use banana leaves. Okay.
And don't forget the sweet tamales too. You can make.
Yeah, we can make some sweet tamales, and you put anise, star anise, and the water, and then you mix it with the dough, with the corn. with the cornmeal.
So the sweetener are those spices more, the anise and that kind of thing?
They have
Sugar.
spices with sugar,
Oh,
and then
okay.
you can add pineapple. You can put some peanuts.
Figs, peanuts, whatever you use your
So- yeah.
imagination.
Oh, so tamales can be kind of a creative project.
Yes.
I
Oh, yeah.
had no idea.
They're a lot of fun. Yeah.
It didn't look that difficult. I've always thought that making tamales was a big production and very difficult to do, but you made it look so easy.
Well, the difficulty is once you make a few more, Adriana,
Yes.
and I can make a few here too. The difficulty is getting the recipe right. Like this one here, beautiful.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
it's not grainy. This one is a little bit bubbly. That's mostly because the meat inside has a lot of juice comes out, but it's still a nice creamy tamal. And good to eat. We worked
Delicious.
we worked on these recipes, just getting the right one down. I was lucky to work with some Oaxacan Indians years ago, and they taught me their technique
Oh, really?
as well.
So you learned some secrets that other people don't know about.
Yeah.
And now, where can we get this recipe?
We can send it to you from
Okay.
elpasochefs.com.
So again, we can go to elpasochefs.com and find that recipe,
I
or
can-
we can
Yeah,
request it.
we're still working on the site a little bit. We're building it up, and you can request it, and we'll send it.
Okay, good. So we'll have that up on the screen, and you're going to get a lot of hits on that site. So
Okay.
might as well post it.
There you go.
Okay. Now, what are the keys to creating a hospitable atmosphere in the home, Mark?
Well, first of all, it's something that you can't lie about. It's in the heart. You know, that's why Grandma has the best hospitality
Right.
there is. You know,
Okay.
that's why we create
Abuelita.
chocolate abuelita.
Right.
You know, it's something that comes from years. It's how you're brought up. It's how you're raised. It's how you've taught respect.
Right.
Things like that.
Now, some of us are natural when it comes to hospitality, and some of us aren't. I'm a little bit more reticent. I get a little more nervous when I think about having a bunch of people in my home. So how can I ease the stress of that? What things should I take into consideration as far as the food, as far as the approach to the evening?
To take the stress off?
Right.
Hire a caterer.
Right.
No, but to do it, just plan well. I know a lot of people that are a little bit apprehensive about doing
Right.
meals. Is my house clean enough? Do I have the right china? Things like that. Don't worry about that stuff. Cook what you love.
Cook
and
what you love.
Cook
Okay.
what you love. Yeah.
Now, as far as trying new recipes, is that a good idea?
Not when you're doing a big group for your first time. If you practice it a few times, absolutely. But if you're inviting a lot of people and the first time you're going to make stuffed goose, you've never done it before,
Not a good idea.
not a good idea.
Okay. Well, what other things do you have for us here?
Well, we like during the holidays or the winter months, chocolate,
Okay.
and kids like doing it. You can involve them in it. To add things, so pretty basic, your chocolate or cocoa, hot cocoa. We like doing that. Kids like doing that. What you can do is just add your cocoa. We like adding a little bit of chocolate. It's easy to do right
So
there.
is that cocoa powder?
Cocoa
It's
powder.
not Ovaltine or something,
No,
right?
no, that's cocoa powder.
Okay. All right.
And you add a little bit of hot water.
Hot water.
Yep.
Okay.
You add a
Not
little
hot milk.
Not yet.
Okay.
A little spoon. You can obviously do this in big batches, but this makes it personal, and that's already melted, nice. Of course, you add your sugar. Thank you. Okay. Guide them with the sugar.
Don't let the kids put
Oh,
half
yeah.
the container
Yeah, you
in
don't
there.
want them throwing the dog in the pool, things like that, because of the sugar rush. But all right, and then you got a little. Now we put the milk.
Okay.
Okay, so you can have this made in batches, of course, but this is a nice creamy chocolate.
Looks good.
This here's a vanilla bean.
Oh. Now, as far as as this goes, chocolate or cocoa is actually very, very good for you. It has a lot of antioxidants and different things in it. So this is actually quite a healthy drink, right?
Yeah, what cocoa is it's chocolate that the fat has been removed. So it's
So
just
that's
the powder.
really healthy for you.
Yeah.
Right. I've never
So
seen
then
a
we add it back
vanilla
with the
bean in
milk.
it like that. Does that actually give it
Yeah.
vanilla
Oh, yeah.
flavor?
It's a little strong, a little expensive, but you got. What I would do is maybe put this in the. But this is a nice little stir, or you can take. I love the Mexican cinnamon. Put that
Yeah,
in there.
that's delicious.
Let people stir with that. We have candy cane or little peppermint candies here. You can put a little of that in there if you like. You know, use your imagination.
So you could have all
Or
these
some
different
marshmallows.
things sitting out, and then people could sort of make their own combination. I know my kids would probably put everything in there.
Oh yeah. Go crazy over it. And then
Yeah.
there you go, your little holiday drinks, and everybody can be involved in it, putting what they want in there. After that, we can do the
Chocolate
chocolate abuelita, which Adriana's going to show you real quick.
The chocolate abuelita or the grandma's chocolate, it comes in like hard bars like this. I
Okay.
already diced it a little bit, so I'm just gonna put it to make it easy.
So
I
that's
can,
with hot milk.
yes, hot milk, and
Okay.
then the chocolate abuelita, I just put it in the blender.
And
It's
that's a
more-
really
Oh,
you
so
want,
that's one of those.
yes.
you
little
want
blender
healthy
thing.
chocolate. This stuff here is pure chocolate. It hasn't been refined at all. The chocolate abuelita is bitter. You add your sugar, all that to it.
So you have to add the sugar.
it's a very
and everything.
refined, yeah.
All right, and so if you're trying to decide whether to do a buffet or just sort of the appetizer kind of thing or a sit-down meal, what kind of things do you take into consideration?
How many people, what your layout is, how many seats you have ready to go, how much time do you have, you know?
What in terms of time? If you're short on time, you do a buffet or appetizer. What do you,
Well,
how do you figure
if
that
people are
out?
coming and going, buffet's the way to go. You know?
Uh-huh.
Somebody comes in early, wants to eat, it's a noshing fest, you know,
Okay.
where everything's out there and they can eat at their leisure once you open it up. So
Uh-huh.
that gives you a lot more versatility. A sit-down dinner is more formal, and it's something where you know everybody eats at the same time
Right.
together. You know.
Now, if you're doing a sit-down dinner, typically, how should you do that? Do you think it's better to put the salad and soup or one at a time, or do the salad with the entree? How do you figure all that out?
It depends on whatever you'd like to do. See, because that's again, if you want it more formal, you're going to have it served.
So you'd have to have someone there serving,
Yeah.
or you'd have to be prepared
And
to
you
do
don't
it.
want to be getting up, getting down, doing all that.
Right.
So table, way to go
Uh-huh.
with that, and then that we call that family style.
Right.
Okay.
So actually putting things in attractive serving dishes on the tables a more casual, more
Mm-hmm.
warm way to go, a little bit easier in terms of the hostess or host being there, and
Correct.
that sort of thing. So that's a good idea.
Start
huh?
carving the turkey and all that
Right.
stuff.
Okay. So what do we have here?
That's like chocolate abuelita Adriana just finished.
Okay.
And you have to blend it in a blender, and you can put cinnamon.
So that's blended. It looks a little bit more creamy.
I put a little bit of whipped cream, but
Kinda looks-
the traditional it's not with whipped cream. You just blend the chocolate in the blender. It's easy, and then with hot milk, and you're ready
Sugar?
to go. It depends if
A
it's
little
up,
sugar?
It's up to you because the chocolate's already a little bit sweet.
So it does have a little bit.
Yes.
little bit.
Has a lot of canela.
And then
sugar.
can you get that in the store as
yes,
well easily?
any store.
In El Paso.
You know.
In El Paso.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Now, as far as people and the kind of attitude that we should have, we need to realize that I guess that the Bible does say we need to look for opportunities to be hospitable, that it's
Absolutely.
not just an option. And a lot of it seems to have to do with coming from the heart and not making it an entertaining sort of thing, that it's really about family togetherness or being together with friends and that sort of thing.
Give with a happy heart. you know.
Give with a happy heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to have regrets afterwards. That kind of defeats the purpose,
Right.
I would say.
What if something goes wrong? What if for example, you forget to turn the oven on for the duck or something like that. What do you, anything like that ever happened to you where, you know, you had some you know,
I'm sure it
major
has,
disaster?
but I put that out of my head instantly.
Okay.
Never bring it back up.
Okay.
And yeah,
What do you do when something like that happens?
call a caterer. Right?
Call a caterer.
No, I you know, those are stories. It's, you got to handle things well in this world. You
So
know?
not get upset about it,
Makes
laugh
it worse.
about it.
Makes it worse. Do something, you know, start, you know, if I had let's say I had a turkey and it was still raw, I'd start slicing it up and putting it in a pan, sauteing it, and making something,
Something new.
some relish, yeah. Let's have fun, yeah.
And then another thing would be to prepare things in advance
Oh, yeah.
and then just have to heat them up.
Absolutely.
What are some good things to prepare in advance when you're thinking of entertaining in the home?
Well,
Hospitality.
depending on what you're making, you know, roast, easy. You can cook that well ahead.
Right.
Your starch, your potatoes, you can prepare everything. Usually, what we do, we do lots of entertaining, lots of functions, and pretty much everything is done ahead of time except for the items that we want to saute real quick. That we know it's a quick saute. We put it on the plate, it goes out.
Right.
So that's the mentality professional chefs think with, and yeah.
So having it prepared in advance and not doing the cooking as much
Yeah.
as possible during the time or right ahead of the time.
You want to be ahead, yeah.
Okay, good. And there are certain recipes that are more amenable to that sort of thing than other recipes. So you have to
Absolutely.
find those recipes.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Practice.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Adriana, for being here, and Mark. We look forward to trying some of this stuff out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Hope
great.
the camera guys are hungry.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm inspired. How about you? What have you learned about hospitality today? Is it going to help make your holiday season a little bit less stressful? Please tell us about your thoughts on the social media sites. Contact us and let us know what you're doing for the holidays. Thank you so much for watching.